When we talk about AI, we usually think about code, about data, but its real impact, it goes so much deeper than that. It's actually weaving itself into the very fabric of our culture. It's changing what we do, how we think, and, yeah, even the words we use every day. So let's just start with this. This quote from MIT Sloan Research really just puts it out there, right? Generative AI is not culturally neutral. I mean, that's a powerful statement. We're not just talking about some fancy tool that writes our emails anymore. This is an active force, an agent that is literally shaping our world. Okay, but what does that actually mean? Like, for you and me, day to day? How does it affect the words we pick, the stories we tell, and, at the end of the day, our identity? Well, that's exactly what we're going to get into. So, it all kicks off with this really powerful, kind of invisible pressure. Researchers are calling it the Great Smoothing. And it's exactly what it sounds like. This unseen force that's starting to reshape the very words we use. And this pressure, it's actually creating a whole new dialect, something we can call AI English. You've probably seen it. It's that style of communication that's, well, it's grammatically perfect, it's super polite, but it also has this tendency to just average everything out. It smooths over all the beautiful messiness, the quirks, the personality that makes human language so, well, human. And if you want the perfect example of this, like the poster child for this linguistic footprint, it really comes down to this one single word. And check this out, because this is where we see the hard data. Since ChatGPT came on the scene, researchers from the Max Planck Institute found this massive spike in AI-favored words showing up in online academic videos. The word delve alone is up 51%. And that's not a coincidence, folks. That is a real, measurable shift in how we're all talking. This chart, it just perfectly lays out the basic conflict here. Human language, our language, it thrives on what you could call messiness, right? We love metaphor, irony, all our local slang. But AI, it's optimized for the exact opposite, for smoothing. It wants clarity, literal meaning, a standardized global norm. It's basically a clash of design philosophies. But here's the thing, this whole smoothing effect, it's not happening to everyone equally. Not even close. In fact, it's creating what you might call a digital chasm, and it's making linguistic inequality across the globe even worse. I mean, just think about it. Our world is this incredible tapestry of human expression. We have over 7,000 languages spoken today. 7,000. But then you look at the data that's actually used to train our most powerful AI models, and it's just a tiny, tiny sliver of that diversity. English completely dominates the field. A few other high-resource languages get a seat at the table, but the vast, vast majority of human languages, they're basically invisible to these systems. And this is so important to understand. This isn't just about, some languages having better translation apps than others. No. As researchers at Stanford point out, the real impact here is systematic exclusion. It risks locking entire cultures out of the massive opportunities, economic, educational, of this whole AI revolution. Okay, but here's the good news. This isn't just a one-way street where technology imposes its will on us. Humans are, if nothing else, incredibly adaptive and creative. We're already finding clever ways to talk back to the algorithm. And that has given rise to this fascinating thing called algo-speak. You can think of it like a secret handshake for the digital age. It's this constantly evolving, coded language that people use to get around the automated content filters on platforms like TikTok and YouTube. And what you get is this amazing cat and mouse game. An algorithm might flag a sensitive word like suicide, so what do users do? They come up with a new term, like unalive. What we're watching is human language evolving at warp speed, and it's happening because of direct pressure from machines. It's wild. But it's not all about just resisting the machine. It's also about partnership. We're seeing artists, writers, musicians, they're starting to use AI as a collaborator, almost like a creative partner that can spitball new ideas and help them create entirely new forms of art and expression. Which, of course, brings us to a really critical question of power. I mean, if our culture, our language, our art, our stories is just being scraped up and used as data, who gets to control that? How do we take back control and become the guardians of our own digital heritage? Well, a really powerful answer is starting to emerge, and it's being led by indigenous communities. It's a movement called Indigenous Data Sovereignty. And what it does is completely reframe the conversation. It says data isn't just some raw material you can mine and extract. It's a sovereign cultural asset. And this isn't just some vague, abstract idea. It's a real, actionable framework. It's built on principles like care, which basically say that data has to benefit the community, that the community itself has the right to control it, and that anyone working with that data has a deep responsibility to be ethical. It's a game changer. So, okay, where does all of this leave us? It really feels like we're standing at a crossroads, right? With this huge choice to make about our future. But the path forward, it's not as simple as you might think. You could imagine one path where we just try to freeze everything, preserve our culture in amber and resist all this new tech. Then there's the other extreme, just total surrender. We just let the algorithm's logic take over and dictate where our culture goes next. But here's the key, and if you take one thing away, let it be this. That's a false choice. It's a false dichotomy. The real path forward, the one with the most promise, is actually somewhere in between. This path has a name, managed coevolution. The idea isn't to stop AI. It's to consciously, deliberately steer its development. It's about making sure we're building tools that augment our creativity and safeguard our amazing diversity instead of just replacing them. So that's really the question we're all facing. Is AI going to be our culture's ghostwriter? Just quietly sanding away all of our unique, interesting, messy edges? Or can it be a creative partner, one that helps us express the incredible richness of who we are? At the end of the day, that choice, it's up to us.